issue for us. We currently are a province that has roughly the third to a half of the population of the state of California, and we have twice the debt. There's certainly a view that assets are being sold from the province to help pay for the real need to drive cash flow. Obviously, there's a real discrepancy between what Queen's Park is spending and what they're collecting in revenue. And you know, Hydro One is being portrayed as being a sale of assets to build infrastructure for the GTHA, but also infrastructure outside of the GTHA as part of the the endeavor under the project name Moving Ontario Forward. There is a significant amount of concern that that Hydro One is owned by all Ontarians, and that, you know, appropriate distribution of those proceeds should be reflective of that. But also, a very significant concern here is that the process has been taken out of the public eye. The public eye is not allowed to be made aware of the intricacies of the transaction, and really the Freedom to Information Act is being retracted. So even if you were to put an application in under the Freedom of Information Act to seek clarity on the transaction, that application, that request would not be honored. So that is a challenge as well. Certainly, as a Chamber of Commerce, we support private enterprise. We know that government should not be participating itself in many things that, in a free market condition, could benefit the community as a whole. However, in this case with Hydro One, it's an asset that's being built up through the taxpayers' purse. So there needs to be that openness and the ability to understand what the benefit and the potential impacts would be for Hydro One to be sold. Certainly, we have an environment right now that is experiencing tremendous increases in the cost of hydro because of the Green Energy Act and the lack of ability to understand what the impacts are to the business and the community and the individual around those increases to the cost of hydro. And certainly the government has not been very clear in terms of providing what the potential impacts could be if Hydro One were to be sold, 60% majority going into the private sector. And yet they voiced that there will be a mechanism in which to control the cost of power. However, that's not being defined by them or explained by them or documented by them. So there still are a number of concerns that have to be addressed within Hydro One. You know, as you may be aware, I've had a background in commercial banking, and basically if I had a client who was selling their assets to meet a cash flow deficit, there would be some very significant challenges with that from a commercial lending perspective. So there are some real concerns, I think, that the business community and the community as a whole in the province has with this particular sale.